I've always liked the Detroit audience. I haven't been here in a while. It's been about 5 years, I think, since I was here last, 5 or 6 years. And but I've played Chene Park. I used to play Chene Park quite often, at least once a year. And Detroit audience has always been great. Great lovers of music. Plus, I played with Anita Baker for a few years, back in the late 80s, early 90s. And so I've experienced Detroit in all its flavors, even, from the ups and the downs financially. I've seen it in some good times and bad.
I started taking private lessons when I was about 9 years old. Introduced to jazz when I was 12, fell in love with jazz, ended up going to Northwestern High School, played with the jazz band there, went to Switzerland, and from that point on, after graduation, went to New York on a tour for about 3 weeks, and I've been touring ever since.
I'm from a musical family. There was 8 kids, and my mother was a piano player, and my dad was a minister, and we all sang, and everyone played an instrument, and I chose saxophone at 4. We all played piano as well, but at 4 years old, I chose saxophone to play.
Still, I think there's a huge void of music in the school systems, and I think I don't get into the school systems as much as I'd like to, only because of the opportunities. But I've done some symposiums at colleges and universities. But I think it's very important that music stays in the school system. Number one, because it gives kids an outlet to do something besides being out in the street and cutting up. But also, music has a mathematical property, and music is nothing really in terms of its sound and tones. It's the distance between notes which creates music and harmony. So once kids have an understanding of music at a young age, when their minds are pliable, somehow that translates into a mathematical skill.
It's about exposure. It's about exposing not this hip-hop audience that's in their late teens going into their 20s now as much as it is exposing the ones that are younger than them, who aren't already predisposed to their likes and dislikes or their dispositions on what jazz is, older people's music. A lot of the teenagers and the hip-hop kids have predispositions on what jazz already is, and they don't want it, their mind's already close to it. We can try to get them. It doesn't hurt. But the ones that I think we try to get are the ones that are like 8, 9, 10, 11, and start even younger than that, and try to get them. That way we're cultivating another audience. I might not live to see it, but at least these artists that are young in their 20s now will get to see that. And those are the people that will get, and as far as getting radio, some type of radio presence, that's going to help significantly, because if you don't have that around the country, it's not going to grow as in an organized way. But you can do it via internet, but it's just harder for promoters to promote.
Well, for those that already know my music, I want them to feel as though I met their expectations. And those that haven't heard my music, I hope to gain a new audience with them. And if nothing else, let them know that I gave my best on stage. Great band, Mr. Darryl Smith and Jeff Kennedy. So we're gonna be all right.
Well, the first seed was planted with my father. He was a musician, not full-time, but a fantastic musician. And, used to have all these great records. He used to play Miles Davis and Quincy Jones and Oscar Peterson. He had all the great piano players, Bud Powell. And at the age of 4 or 5, I guess he found out that I had perfect pitch, just out of clear blue. I guess he heard me singing like some bebop tune or something at age 4, which was, I thought was fun. I'm sitting here reading Peanuts magazines and singing bebop, you know. So he discovered I had, you know, musical talent, and I took classical lessons, and, you know, just stuck with it, you know. And so here I am a few years later.
Covas Entertainment did a wonderful job tonight. The talent was off the hook. I thought it was well organized, and I'm feeling so much better going home today.
Oh, it was absolutely wonderful. I really enjoyed myself. Everette Harp? Yes, I really enjoyed myself with her.
Actually, I didn't have a favorite part of the evening because the entire evening was absolutely fantastic.
Really?
From the host, Mike Bonner, to Al Mckenzie. It was wonderful, fantastic event.
Okay, you looking forward to another event like
I am, and I'm going to make sure I tell all my friends and family to come and attend. It's a great event.
Well, I think one of the things that's unique in terms of Covas Entertainment bringing jazz to the metropolitan Detroit area is, one, having an opportunity to see some of the different style and its different contributions to jazz, as well as the homage that is given to those who've come and gone who contribute. The piece to Coltrane, the piece to Joe Zolomu, incredibly entertaining, incredibly creative as well. They showed both the religious roots as well as the jazz roots. It was very good. Appreciate it.
We've had a great, you know, working relationship, Rosetta and I, but it's been great to come always to Detroit. They got great musical history, great musical people, and it's been an honor to always come through. Hope I get a chance to do it more often.